This is PiKrust's. I want to introduce you to a new program that my friend Rookie and I are going to begin to develop and put up on YouTube for all of you to enjoy. It's we're going to be developing some recipes for you to follow and to watch us do them. It's going to be a variety of recipes. It's just going to be good. This is where I live. This is my humble little abode in my very little small kitchen. But I do some big cooking here. Okay. Today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making some sweet potato pie. We've begun here by immersing 3 pretty good sized sweet potatoes into some cold water. We started boiling, they heated them up, of course, now they're boiling. It takes about 35 minutes for these to cook all the way through. When they're through cooking, we will remove them to the stove, take them over to the sink, and then I'll put them in a strainer and I'll let cold water run on them until I can handle them with my bare hand. And once I can do that, then I'm going to go ahead and take the skins off so we can mash and begin to use them. You got to remember something about sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are very easy to cook. You can also overcook them. Okay, people don't realize that, but you can. So, in order to find out the right textures to be when they're done, I should say, you just take a fork and insert it. If it goes in real easy, it comes out clean. You're good. Okay, so. We'll start from here. I'll be back in a few minutes as soon as these are done. Okay, here we go again. This is part 2. I want to let you see that we have our pie crust ready. Here's our potatoes. They are ready to be cooled down. They've just finished cooking. And I'm going to show you that these are really very easy. See, the fork goes right in and right back out again. They're perfect. And we have here all of our ingredients. We got eggs, and in here we have salt, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg. All of them are a half a teaspoon except the salt. That's a quarter of a teaspoon. And we have 2 eggs. The 2 eggs are separated. You got the egg yolks here. We got the egg whites here and the sugar because we're going to be making like a meringue, but not quite. Okay, we have our butter, which has been softened. And here we have half a cup of evaporated milk. So I think we're about ready to go, and I'm going to begin by peeling the potatoes, and we'll get back from there. All right. Okay, what we have here, there are the potatoes. They're mashed. Now, believe it or not, we're only going to use just a couple of cups of these. Okay, and then over here, as you can see, I cooled them down and peeled them in there. By the way, the skin just falls right off. Excuse the mess. But what I'm doing over here is I'm fixing my egg whites. I have 2 egg whites in there and just a touch of cream of tartar, and then I'm going to be adding to this mixture, once it starts forming a little bit more, a quarter cup of sugar real slow, because I want it to really blend in there and to make it nice. Okay, well, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be folding this into the mixture once we start the mixture. We're going to be doing the mixture in here also. Once we get the mixture in here, we get all the spices in using the mixer. Then we're going to fold this in. You don't want to beat these in, the egg whites in. We just want to fold them in. All right, as you can see, the egg whites are now completely mixed. I want to show you that this is a really nice texture. Ain't it? See that? Nice and peaky. That's what we're trying to look at. See, Scott? Nice and peaky. Just like they're supposed to be. Anyways, and while we're doing this, we might as well have a little fun. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to start bringing all my ingredients over there to put it in the mixer. Of course, first I got to wash the bowl out and sanitize it because it had egg in it. We don't want anybody to get sick. That's for doggone sure. And then also remember that the oven, you want to begin the oven. You're going to start your oven out. You want to set your oven for 400 degrees. And then, all right, there's 400 degrees. Okay. Now, 400 degrees, we're only going to bake it at 10 minutes for 400 degrees, and then we're going to drop it down to 350 and bake it for an additional 30 minutes, okay? So let me get things cleaned up over here and get ready to put all these wonderful ingredients in there. Then I have a little bit of a secret ingredient that I'll put in here also, but I'm not telling you right now what it is, all right? All righty. So we have 2 cups of the sweet potatoes in here. And now I'm going to be turning the mixer on. I hope you can hear over the noise. Turn it on slow. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add our 2 eggs. 2 egg yolks, I should say. If I can get them out of this container. There we go. For some reason they don't want to cooperate, just like anything else. Alright, got our 2 egg yolks in. And now we're going to be adding in all of our spices. Remember, everything is a half a teaspoon except for the salt. The salt is a 1/4 teaspoon. And now we're going to be adding our sugar, brown sugar. I like to use light brown sugar. And then on top of that, we're going to be adding our 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. Do not use regular milk. I mean, seriously. Because regular milk is not going to, I mean, it may be all right. I know some of you are health conscious and all this other stuff, but you really don't want to use regular whole milk or 2% milk, please. Use evaporated milk. First of all, evaporated milk actually cooks up better. So, and our oven is ready, you just heard the beep there. So we're going to mix this a little bit. Give it a few seconds. Now what I like to do after this, take this down, shut it off, and I like to scrape down the bottom of the bowl and the sides so we want to make sure that we get it all. Now, at first it looks like, oh man, this is a little watery. Well, yeah, it probably is. But you're going to remember that it's going to be going into the oven and it's going to be baking. Mix it up real good here. Got to put away my dirty cups. All right. Hey, I gotta ask you a question. Why did the chicken cross the road? I don't know. He don't know. Maybe you can help us, right? Just a little humor. Okay. I learned that from my friend Scott. All right, here we go. One more speed just for a couple minutes, or a couple seconds, I should say. Drop it back down. Shut it off. All right. Take this off, the beater. Put that over in. Now, remember I told you this is what we're going to be doing with the egg white mixture, is we are going to be folding this in, all right? So what you want to do is I just put it inside. You know, by the way, a lot of people buy a lot of fancy little glass dishes and plastic dishes to put all their ingredients in. Look, see these things? These come from a store, all right? Same with the other plastic, clear plastic. I use every one of them. Why expend all that why have all that expenditures when you can do this? Works just as well. Keep them clean, amen? All right. All right, so we're going to fold this in gently. You want to make sure it's blended in real well. I'm going to tell you, I do this for my lemon meringue pie as well. I take and make my meringue, then I take about 1/3 of the meringue and I put it right in with the meringue filling, with the lemon filling. And I'm telling you, you talk about a very beautiful, rich cake or pie. It's really beautiful. It's really, really nice. Okay, we're getting this. This is almost all done here. Fold it in. It also lightens up the texture, color-wise, and gives it a nice, creamy color. And you're going to see that this has got a beautiful color to it and texture as well. And it's going to be a smooth pie. I've had sweet potato pies and even pumpkin pies that are very grainy, very coarse. I don't like that personally. I like a nice smooth pie. And so this is what I've done. And somebody asked me where did I learn all my pie making? From my mom. My mom and my grandma. My paternal grandmother, she was some kind of baker, I'm telling you, some kind of cook. My grandmother never cooked on an electric range or gas range. She did everything on the old wood stove. She'd been doing it for years, and when they tried to bring her in one, she says, I've got no time for that stuff. And Grandpa always had the wood there for her. So anyways, I'll try to show you this. You see this ready? Okay. And we're back in just a second. Okay, here we go. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pour this. The pie crust is ready. I'm going to be pouring this right into the old crust. Doesn't that look nice? Try to get a close up before we end this video. Gonna have a little fun with it and just simply enjoy it. Now it's nice and fat and somewhat like me, you know what I mean? Okay. Then of course what I like to do is I like to go around here and I like to trim my pie crust. A lot of people have different ways of doing this, but I do it the old-fashioned way, just taking a little knife and we got to crimp the edges off, you know, everything yet. And looks kind of odd the way I'm doing it, but because I told you I don't have much space here, and so I have to work within a limited space area. All right. I could have folded this over and done it that way, but I'm so used to doing it this way, and that's the way I learned from my mom. And now we'll go ahead and just crimp this up a little bit. And I think you're going to find that we're going to have one great tasting pie. I don't know how it's going to look, but I'll tell you one thing. It's sure going to taste good, whether it looks good or not. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to take my pie crust, the entire pie. Unfortunately, I have to use an aluminum foil pie tin tonight because I can't find the glass one. I think I made some pies for the pastor of the church here in Emmitsburg, of the Lutheran church, Pastor John's church. And what happened was I think he took the pies, he did take the pies home with him for Christmas, and I think he just forgot to bring the tins back. Okay, so I go ahead. As soon as I get this, okay, now I like to take, and I like to put aluminum foil down, not that it really makes any difference, but for cleaning purposes. All right, put the aluminum foil down. Now, plus, it makes handling the pie crust the whole entire pie a lot easier, and doesn't bend all out of shape. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to bake it at 400 degrees. Probably the smoke alarm will go off, so forgive that. All right, set our timer for 10 minutes. And we start, okay? And we'll see what it looks like when it all comes out. Okay, here's the finished product right there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, the hole in the middle right here. That's where I had the knife go in there. But it came out clean. Not at first. I had to give it another 7 minutes. But it came out beautiful. Look at that. Look at that baby. Nice and golden. And of course, as it cools down, it won't be quite as puffy as it is. But I'm just kind of proud of that. And then someday I'll tell you a little secret about what I did, because I forgot to put something in there, but I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to come and taste it, figure it out for yourself. All right, God bless. Thanks for watching.